Hey everyone, it's Gabriella, and today I'm painting Tracer and Soldier 76 from Overwatch. If you don't know what's Overwatch, then it's a video game. I used to play it a lot when I was in high school. I played it for about like 3 years, especially when it first came out, but then I got bored. Now I do understand that there's an Overwatch 2, but still, I'm not interested in playing video games anymore. Like literally, the last game that I played was in 2018, like 2 days before my birthday, was the Spider-Man game, and I absolutely loved it. Okay, so now let's get into the painting process. So the brand I'm using is Venalisa. It's a Chinese product that was produced in 2013. It's an all gel-based brand, and it's absolutely the best for character art, or at least in my opinion. For the gel that I'm using from their brand, it has a thick consistency, so you don't have to worry about the gel moving while you're working on another finger. However, always cure it in between each color. That is so important. Now I do also use another brand, D&D gel, like the gel polish, but it's a little bit too like liquidy, so I would prefer to paint with like the more thicker gels. So this painting of Tracer took about 1 hour and 8 minutes because it does involve a lot of detail. So like kind of in between like each layer, like especially for what I'm doing right now, just the line art, it took me about like 6 minutes to do that. And then to add the colors, it was like in between like 4 to like 6 minutes each layer. Oh, and also the brand that I'm using for like the liner brushes, it's by Beetles, the gel polish brushes. Now, when you're doing line art, don't try to focus on like making it too perfect, especially when you know you're gonna add color onto it. When you add the final line art, after you're done laying the colors, that's when it's really important. But for now, it's really not important. You'll see like just right now, I'm fixing the face because I didn't like how the face came out. I didn't want to like rub it with like acetone or like 100% alcohol because then I'm gonna ruin like the rest of like the clothing part of the character. So I just fixed the face using the color of like the skin tone. Okay, so this part is where I had a bit of trouble. Like I have to learn more about color theory. Like even though like I grew up being an artist since I was 10, still there's some skills that I need to learn because having talent and skill is two different things. So yeah, I had like a bit of a problem trying to match like the correct color for the jacket. Like I was close because I was using like a yellow tone when it should have been like a very bright orange tone instead to mix the inside of the jacket and then the outside brown tone, like brown grayish tone of the jacket as well. Okay everyone, so now we're going in with the final line art. Now this line art took me about like 11 minutes because like it's the final piece. You got to make sure it's perfect. Okay, so now what I'm doing, wiping it with 100% acetone. You can use 100% alcohol as well. However, it does vary from like each brand for the gel, or even base coats as well. When I was using Kiara Sky's like base coat, this would happen when I was like a beginner. I know better now, but I used 100% alcohol and then it completely destroyed the base layer. like the clear base layer. So I was just like, okay, now I have to use like, you know, 100% alcohol so it doesn't ruin it. Oh, that's also another good thing. After you're done with the application of like your gel eggs or like acrylic set, make sure you put a base coat, because when you put a base coat, it protects the nail art from like chipping and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really good to always do that. Okay, so this part here, I did look back at the picture and I did notice I was missing like a couple of things that was supposed to be added onto there. So after like I did like the line art for some parts, I went back and finished those details. Now we're finalizing this piece with the mask, like the goggles that she has. So what I decided to do was do the eyes, right? Because the ombre of the orange to yellow, I wanted it more of like, you know, translucent. So I did the eyes, did all the details, make sure that it really shows through. And then I went in with the orange first and go really lightly with this. And it's okay to be messy because all the layers underneath is already cured. So yeah, I took 100% acetone and I split the two because I didn't have like a brush for the ombre. So I just kind of split my liner brush in two and lightly put the acetone on there to blend it all out. So once again, after you cure your ombre design for the goggles, I decided to go in again and outline the rest of the goggles. And then also for the face, it wasn't showing that much through the ombre, so I decided to lightly, very lightly enhance those features. Then once you're done, go in with whatever your top coat of your desire. I always go for Kiara Sky top coat. And just like that, we are all done with Tracer. She came out beautiful. Now it's time to draw the man of the hour, Soldier 76. This one took up less time, took about like 45 minutes. Now to the untrained eye, many people say, no, it's not simple at all, it's very hard. But when you start looking at mainly the colors, like as in shapes, then it's much more easier towards the end, as you see what I'm doing right now. And even though, yes, I did decide to draw the line art first, however, at the end, when I covered it with like the color, I was just like, okay, yeah, like the line art is not matching his actual shape, his actual structure within the artwork, so let me just fix it with the colors. Once I'm done with all of that, of course, I go in with the heavy details. Now still, when I did the like the final line art, I was looking at it, I was like, I don't like this at all, because it doesn't really bring it out because there's not a lot of detail within him. So I decided to do a bunch of shading to bring out the character. So yeah, so for the shading and the goggles, I did the same technique that I did for Tracer's goggles. So lightly using the gel colors and then blending it out with the 100% acetone or whatever you desire to blend it out with. And yeah, it came out really good, came out so clean. Y'all just look at that. I love this. I think this is like, I think this one's better than Tracer. So here's our final product. I am so happy with these two. Most definitely in the next video, I will be drawing Farah and McCree. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my video. If you guys have any requests for any characters, let me know down in the comments.